Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy Hikins and Trevor.
Less vulnerable. Let's put it that way. Shockingly, that fact still holds true, where women say they can't travel on their own because, all right, so you may understand the area where you live, but then when you leave that area to then go to another area, it's a different thing, isn't it? It is true, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, I get the feeling that more women are happy to go, for example, to the cinema or theatre on their own sometimes, even go off on a holiday on their own. I think it is gradually changing, but as you say, I think, being careful is the watchword. But as it is for men on their own as well, I guess. Anybody can be vulnerable. I was reading a story the other day of quite an interesting story that happened, I think it was a couple of years ago. There was a guy who'd had previous convictions. He was drunk and he was out in the town looking for trouble. And a fellow and his dad, the chap was in his 30s, I think, and his father, they'd just come out of a pub somewhere, perfectly fine. This guy went up to the son, no provocation, and he just punched him. And he fell over, hit his head, long story short, he died. And this fella got about 4 years for manslaughter, which didn't seem that long, but there we are. Anyway, the crux of the point is that the parents have forgiven this guy. They had a restorative justice meeting with him. He agreed to do that, the prisoner, so that the parents could express what they felt about the loss of their son. It was unprovoked and so on. And it seems hard to believe, but they became the best of friends. They still talk to this person. He's turned his life around, by all accounts, reading this story. He now works with youngsters, trying to steer them away from too much drink and drugs and so on. So all credit to him for that. But it was interesting, in a lot of the comments on this story, a lot of people said, well, good for them, the parents, but I could never do that, because you'd feel you were betraying your son who was killed. But anyway, that's going off subject. But there's risks for everybody, really, as that story illustrates. So we just have to be particularly careful, don't we? Yeah. Okay, so women, they say they can't run as far as boys. Well, that kind of goes against what we saw just now, which said they have a greater lung capacity. But one element of that, which I've always been quite intrigued about, with tennis, for example, with the 4 Grand Slams, which are Wimbledon, the US, France and Australia, the sets for men is the best of 5. In all the other competitions, they're the best of 3 for everybody. But in the Grand Slams, for women, it's still the best of 3. So, for example, I think last year or this year at Wimbledon, as far as I remember, the women's final, the winner won 6-0, 6-1, and it was over in about not much more than half an hour. The men's, it was 4 sets it went to this year, and I think it was Alcaraz who won, but it lasted 4 hours, 5 hours, as they often do. Often they go to 5 sets. So one lasted about 4 hours, one lasted half an hour. Both men and women get the same prize money of about £2 million. Now, that always seems a little bit strange, and I'm not saying women shouldn't have equal prize money. Previous tennis players, women have campaigned for that, and that they felt it was only fair. But the bit about that which surprises me, really, and it touches on our subjects of women, is women have advanced a long way, quite rightly, into equality with the male, and why it wasn't like that before is anybody's guess. But you would think no one likes to be patronised in any way. And to me, I would have thought the feministic side of some tennis players or some women would say, hang on a minute, why should we get paid the same as men when they're having to do the best of 5 sets, and often in a final it will go to 5 sets, or during the tournament, and we're only having to do the best of 3 sets, and often our games are much, much quicker. Because surely many women would say, hang on a minute, we can run as far as men. We're as fit. We do marathons. We both run the 26 miles. Okay, maybe men are a little bit faster on a marathon, but we can do just what the men can do. So really, we should be playing the best of 5 as well. Now, we've already read that they have greater lung capacity, although these people who were questioned said we can't run as far as boys. In actual fact, we're told they got greater, their legs last longer when they're running. They're tougher. Their muscles are tougher. So that's one element of that.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy Hikins. The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.